Well, no trip to the Northwest would be complete without a little rain, and we've got a lot of rain falling right now at CenturyLink Field in downtown Seattle. This crowd, as we've come to expect in recent years, as loud as any in the NFL, and they get even louder when their Seahawks are introduced. We're ready for football as the Seahawks get set to do battle with Drew Brees and the New Orleans Saints. Two 1-1 teams here, each looking to move over 500, and we're underway here in Week 3. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
Ready? You ready? And here we go. Watch the pass. Watch the pass.
This is Alvin Kamara, who made the Pro Bowl in each of his first 2 NFL seasons. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, Kamara. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard. The good run on first down followed up by a not-so-good run on 2nd down.
Now let's find out if they're going to stick with the run here on 3rd down. A lot of people would love to see some play action here. I say go with your best running play over your best blocker.
Just play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1. Now Brees. Blitz coming, and down he goes. Credit the sack to Shaquem Griffin.
I spent a lot of extra time preparing for this game, watching this offensive line, because they gave up 5 sacks last week in their loss. They just gave up another one now. They don't seem to be working together as a cohesive unit, right? 4 guys might have it right, but the 5th guy is giving something up. They've got to find a way to all get on the same page.
Wilson and the Seahawks take over now, 1st and 10 at their own 15. Here's the second-year man from San Diego State, Rashad Penny. And not much there at all. He's up only to about the 16-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd and 9, Wilson. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And he'll get this up to the 30-yard line. That one good for 14 and a Seahawk first.
They've got good playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. I don't know what happened last week to really hurt their performance and hold down their production, but I would dare say that this week in practice, there's a lot of talk about how they're going to increase their proficiency.
Yeah, that was a good start, getting the playmakers involved. You mentioned that to me pregame. That's what they did there.
Yeah, I think a lot of people think the coaching staff really gets on them, and that's how they motivate them. Most of these guys are self-motivated. They have a lot of pride in their performance.
This is Chris Carson, 1,000-yard rusher a year ago. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. On 3rd down, Wilson. They'll run the screen with Carson. And he'll get this only to about the 38 as they stop him a few yards shy of the line to gain. Well, the screen gets 7, but it's not enough, and it'll be 4th down. 4th down, and out is the all-pro punter from a year ago, Michael Dixon, to punt for Seattle. Back deep, the veteran Ted Ginn. This is taken around the 12. Nice job bringing that one back. 14 on the return. And the Saints will take over with a 1st down and 10.
Ready.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called, and you want to see how defense.
Well, he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. And those are the highlight reel runs you dream of right there.
When he gets a seam and just gets through it, how about the explosiveness, the burst to get there to begin with, and then once he's in full gallop, good luck trying to track him down.
And those plays so demoralizing for the defense.
Absolutely, because you've done so much work trying to keep people in front of you. When they're past you and behind you, that's a tough one to swallow.
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. They punted last time they had it. What steps, Charles, do you think they have to take to make sure they don't do that again?
Well, let's just go to the football 101, the trade expression 101. Win first down. Make 5, 6, 7 yards on first down and make it a 2nd and 3, 2nd and manageable. Keep accumulating first downs that way. Keep moving the football. You don't want to get behind the sticks because then the defense has the advantage.
On 2nd and 2, Wilson escaping the pressure right. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. It's a gain of 15, first down Seahawks.
As a general rule, offensive linemen like to know where their quarterback's going to be when he's setting up to throw the football. But sometimes they just have to get on the run, get on the move. He was able to do that on that play and picks up a first down with a nice throw.
A running play here on first down is going to go nowhere as he is tackled behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. Now the first carry for Marshawn Lynch. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and it's going to be 3rd down and a ways to go here, 3rd and 14. From the shotgun, Wilson. He's going to air one out. Into a double team, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Marcus Williams. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. He's able to rip off 32 on that one. It's a first down. So the big play moves him all the way across midfield to the 40 now for 1st and 10. Working from the gun, it's Breeze. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 17. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week, 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away, and that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well.
On 2nd down, here's Penny. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. First down, Seattle on a pickup of 13. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. 6-0 our score after 1.
Alert! Check 52. He's coming. We got double up. Any weapons? Hey, check Mike 47. Check.
Throwing now, Wilson on first down. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked up by Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, the rookie from Florida.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They start the drive on the ground. Kamara He's got the first down and more inside the 40. And finally down at the 36-yard line. 14 yards is the pickup. First down, New Orleans. Well, he's broken off some big-time runs here in this first half.
Yeah, and let's just face it. When you go into a game, you think you've got the plays that are going to work, but when you actually get out there and they're starting to happen, your confidence rises, and he's running with terrific ability right now.
They run it for the first time with a backup Murray. And he'll be taken down at the 33, a pickup of about 4.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the second level.
To throw on 2nd and 6, Breeze. And the pressure gets to Breeze as he's taken down. Ziggy on top. It'll go as a loss of about 8 as he gets in there to drop him. 3rd and long now after the sack of Breeze, and the Saints up against it here. From the gun, it's Breeze. And he's going to go down again. Unable to stop KJ right there as he slips by for the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. 0 accountability, and a sack resulted.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. It hasn't gone particularly well for them, that's obvious. In these conditions, no points so far. They've got to get that offense on track. The question, how do they do it?
It is the age-old question, isn't it? And to me, finding a way to make sure your playmakers touch the ball without it being too exotic. Meaning you don't have to go deep down the field. Maybe you hit them on those short passes on the perimeter. Make sure you just turn around and hand it to your best runner and get out of the way. Don't cause any extra stress on your offense.
Now a nice throw here right side. He hauls it in. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Now it's Wilson. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sheldon Rankins abruptly ends that play with a sack.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
And the job becomes twice as difficult now after the sack. It's 2nd and 20. To throw is Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked up by Chauncey Gardner-Johnson, the rookie from Florida.
You hear me laughing, partner, and I'm not laughing at the situation, but sometimes you just get yourself into a rut. It's hard to shake yourself out of it.
Now a first down carry. It's Kamara. And he's got some space here. Touchdown, New Orleans. Alvin Kamara with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And always a good first half when you can hit pay dirt twice.
And it never hurts to have that good feeling as the game moves on. Just think about halftime. If that's all he gets, he'll just sit there at the half and think, all right, 2 already. I can get some more. I can get some more. And he'll be encouraging his offensive line to create some space.
Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And this not an easy situation. You're down early, in the elements, you're on the road. How do you get the mojo back?
But one thing is to remember that as an offensive player, you have a much better idea of what you're trying to accomplish and where you're trying to go than the defender. So in this case, because you know him, you can make your cuts with a little more decisiveness. Maybe a second fake, some double moves, things of that nature to go ahead and try and put some pressure on the defense.
They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. First down, Seahawks. Penny, a first down carry. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up third down.
I'm going to come back to you. I'm going to
on third down, Wilson. He finds Dorsett. It's complete. Well, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. They'll get 10 there, but it leaves him just short for fourth down. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
We get slap happy up here sometimes. They get 17 on that one. Move the chains. First down, Seahawks. Wilson leaves this one with Penny. And he's going to get this one down to the 30. Demario Davis, who was the Saints' leading tackler in his first year in New Orleans, in on the stop. Now Rashad Penny. A short gain here, maybe a yard to the 29. 8th play of the drive forthcoming, and they need 8 yards on third down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And an incomplete pass. That'll stop the clock here with just under a minute to play in half number 1.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
And this one is no good. He missed it. And this score will stay right where it is.
Now, if this was a clear day in September, I'd say this is well within his range. I'd feel very confident about this kick, but let's be honest about it. In these elements, the difficulty level gets ratcheted up by at least a factor of 5.
Now the Seahawks going to use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 43-yard line.
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Come on.
Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2, as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
Yellow lady, yellow lady. Check, check. Watch 54, watch 54. Cut.
From midfield, here's Breeze. He's got his all-pro receiver, Michael Thomas. Give him 32 on the play.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big game.
Watch twitch.
On the ground, Kamara. And he gets it down close to the 10-yard line. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he is into the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Michael Thomas, as the first half is winding down, and the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. footing always a concern, but the extra point's up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Time here for likely one play, then off to the locker room, and they're going to have some adjustments to make.
They certainly will, and I think a lot of people are thinking to themselves, all right, take the knee, get out of here, regroup. But how will the head coach and his staff approach halftime? Will it be angry? Will it be clinical? Will they be calm? Will they just let it all out? Who knows? I'd love to be a fly on the wall for this one, though.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And that first half, one to forget really on both sides of the ball. They got to find some way to string something together here, don't they?
Yeah, they're down big right now. So as you mentioned, trying to find something to string together, get some consistency, something sustained, maybe calm their whole team down and find a way to get back in this one.
Yeah, because right now you're down big, you're being shut out. Let's see if this is the drive. Pressure comes, and Wilson's going to go down. The sack coming from defensive end Cameron Jordan.
So one quick, easy analysis about why they've struggled so far. They keep putting themselves in third and long situations. They just took another sack right there.
And the offensive film session tomorrow may be a little longer than it normally is.
Not a lot of positive grades will be handed out thus far.
Wilson and the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's third and long here. Wilson. And the pressure gets to him again. Cameron Jordan able to get in there for his second sack of the afternoon.
I think we've seen this before. Someone's down 3 scores. That situation there, it's just going to add to their growing frustrations, don't you think?
Yeah, a bad number 3 right now. 3-score game, third quarter, 3 and out, not what they wanted. And you can tell on the sideline, those faces are getting a little bit longer as this one goes. Call that one an even 60 yards, 6-0. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They begin on the ground with Kamara. A solid run on first down, gain of 7, leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
They keep it on the ground, but this time it's Murray. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
Ready? 95-56, 95-56.
First down, Saints.
They go back to Murray on first down. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today.
You know, it's become cliche, but we have seen it and observed it. When runners have days like what we're seeing right now, they often take their offensive linemen out for steaks afterwards, don't they? They don't go buy them dinner. But after a play like that, he might reduce and might go to the corner and just grab a hot dog or two, huh?
Hey, I mean, they've still been blocking for him well in this game. They don't get one mulligan up front.
Okay, so what we're saying then is we're going petite filet instead of porterhouse. How's
8 ounce.
that?
8 ounce is good.
All right, just checking.
Now Kamara. He is taken down at the 21 after a short gain of 2.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Again, it's Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Partner, I know my grade school teachers never would believe this, but I can absorb a lesson. I think there's a lesson in this one. He's having a great day running the football, but occasionally they're going to find a way to stop you, aren't they?
Yeah, this time the defense stepped up in what's been so far a tough game for them. Looking for the hit, and he's got it. Touchdown, Saints. Emmanuel Sanders, his second touchdown on the season. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. And, partner, they found a gap there on the post pattern, and it was in the middle third of the field.
And that's really difficult to do because ordinarily the safeties are back there to prevent that happening. But they found the opening and exploited it.
This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line.
The Seahawks take over first and 10 at their own 30-yard line.
Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. These guys had to punt last time. It has not been a very fruitful game offensively thus far. They haven't even made a trip to the red zone.
And I know that everyone's going crazy on that sideline because that drives you berserk to come off the field, not really move the ball well. As you said, not even get to the red zone, let alone, not even put points on the board. They've got to just take a deep breath, relax, try and figure out what is working, and call more of that.
Now left side on the swing pass. They'll get 34 yards there.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far, and never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
He's going to take off with it. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be second and a couple.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a first down. Took till the second half, but finally a red zone opportunity here. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about.
Let's go. What? Ready? Mike's 47. Let's go, D.
Out of the gun. Here's Wilson. Dorsett's got it. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Philip Dorsett, his second touchdown on the season. And the Seahawks are able to cut into that deficit. Extra point up and through by Myers. And the lead now down to 20. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Well, some might have returned that one. He won't. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start the drive from the 25. The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And now you've got the clock winding down here in the third quarter. You're 3 scores to the good. What's your approach on this drive?
Too early to fully commit to playing the clock game. Yet at the same time, you're also not going pell-mell like you would in 2-minute offense. This is what NFL offenses call 4-minute football. Take the clock out of the game a little bit, wind it down, but at the same time, keep advancing the ball down the field.
They run it again with Kamara. And some space here. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. 22 yards there, a first down.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
You ready? All day, baby, all day. Turn it left.
On first down, Murray. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah.
He wasn't ready. He wasn't ready.
So both teams trade touchdowns, and the third as we're through 3 quarters of play. And that'll do it for the end of the second quarter. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. A man who's been busy this afternoon, it's Kamara again. And he's up across midfield and down into Seattle territory. It's a 5-yard gain, but they'll still be a yard short here with third down now looming.
5-yard pickup on the play. And it's third down.
5'8". Push him back. Push him back.
They'll run here. It's Murray. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They only get 2 there, but on 3rd and 1, that's all they needed to keep the drive going.
First down, Saints.
Ready.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Let's get this ball back with offense.
A give to Kamara running right. He's got the first down here inside the 30 and all the way down to the 25-yard line. That burst good for 20 and a first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Staying on the ground on first with Kamara. No dice this go-around. He's hit behind the line and taken down. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13. Now they'll throw with Breeze. Incomplete. Thomas the intended target, and it's 3rd down.
But there was no trace of nervousness there. He was able to diagnose that play from his linebacker position, stay in excellent coverage, and bat the ball away.
The Saints on 3rd down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This is going to be 3rd and 13. Here's Breeze to throw. Out of the backfield, that's complete to Kamara. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means 4th down.
But it brings up 4th down.
The Saints on 4th down last year, 13 of 16, second best in the league, and they'll try it here. They'll try and run with Murray. But he will have the first down before he's tackled at the 12. Just a gain of 3, but they'll certainly take it as they convert on 4th down. The 4th down run successful. Now they look to pay it off on 1st down. They stay on the ground. This time it's Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 2nd and 12.
Ready? You ready? Watch the screen. Pass.
On the counter, here's Kamara. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play. And they're going to face an uphill battle here on 3rd and long.
95-56, 95-56.
Now Breeze. And he's got him. It's caught in the end zone. Touchdown, New Orleans. Emmanuel Sanders. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
Here's the Seattle offense ready to get this drive underway. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go.
And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Sheldon Rankins picks up his 2nd sack of the afternoon. To try again after the sack. Wilson under pressure again, and down he goes again. Marcus Davenport, the first rounder out of UTSA, with a sack. Here's Wilson.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now here's Michael Dixon as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Here's Ginn. We'll call that a punt of 54 yards. Well struck. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Good starting field position for them as they come up 1st and 10 at the 41-yard line. They begin the drive with a run by Murray. Tackle coming from the safety, Trey Flowers.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
They'll run. This is Kamara. And he works his way forward for about 4 up to the midfield stripe.
Brandon, all things considered, they have to feel pretty good about getting that type of a gain considering the blitz that they just had against them.
Oh, you got deep?
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And some room to work. He'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. It was 3rd and short, and they go flying past the marker for a gain of nearly 30 yards. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So it's Saints football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. They'll run out of the gun with Kamara. And he'll take this inside the 20 and down to the 18. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete. Bradley McDougald that time able to knock it away.
Now, the secondary's really struggled today, but that's a little bit of a measure of revenge, isn't it? And they just followed the basic rules. See ball, knock ball away. Turns into a nice play.
Now Breeze on 3rd down. That's caught. It's Thomas. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. I don't want to make a story where there's not one, but he threw the 3 interceptions last week. Looked a little uncomfortable. He looks much more comfortable today. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. And often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team and we were losing late in the game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
And they've got the hook up. This is Olsen. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now we'll get a quick timeout called by New Orleans, number 2. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Throwing is Wilson. He'll buy some time right. And that's going to be intercepted. Malcolm Jenkins, the Pro Bowler. And his guys are going to take over at their own 48-yard line. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 48. Kamara. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. Now the Saints will use their 3rd and final timeout. It'll be their 3rd and final timeout, so as they talk things over, we'll step aside. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. And it's hauled in by Jared Cook. And he's got this down to the 35. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains.